Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Trails and Tales update for Minecraft, going for the Careful Restoration achievement. This is to craft a decorated pot. So, first thing you are going to need is going to be a brush, as that's going to be the main tool in the new archaeology feature of the update. So, to craft a brush, you're going to need three main things. The first one is going to be a stick, which obviously you get from wood. Make sure you get some wood, break that down into planks, and then break the planks down into sticks. Once you have your sticks, the second thing you're going to need is going to be a feather, which you can get a number of ways. Easiest way, obviously, is to find a chicken and kill it, and then pick up its drops. Hopefully, it should drop a feather, which is going to be a pretty common drop, so make sure you just get that. And then the third and final thing is going to be copper, which is going to require you to do some mining. So make sure you get a pickaxe, and then head to your local ravine, and then make sure you look on the walls for some copper. It's going to be the reddish-brown looking ore. It should appear towards the surface, so you don't have to go super deep into the mines or anything. Just make sure you get some copper. You only need one piece. However, copper is going to appear in abundance once you find a vein. So just make sure you grab as many as you want, but realistically, you only need one for this particular tool. So just make sure you grab your copper, and of course, we are going to have to smelt the ore in order to get a copper ingot. So make sure you take these back with you to a furnace. Make sure you pop the ore inside with some fuel and then let that smelt, and then grab your copper ingot once it's all cooked. Once you have that, you're going to take the three things, the stick, the feather, and the copper ingot with you to a crafting table, and you're going to craft that into a brush. So a brush is going to require a 3x3 grid, so you have to do this at a crafting table even though it's only 3 ingredients. The recipe is going to be copper ingot in the middle, stick on bottom, and then the feather on top in a straight vertical line. Once you have that crafted, you should have your brush, and then we're going to take this with us to go look for some pottery shards. Now, pottery shards can be found at pretty much any ruin that has suspicious blocks. You are probably going to find a fair share while working on the other two achievements in the update, as one achievement requires you to look in warm ocean ruins, and the other one requires you to look in trail ruins. However, if you don't come across any, I am going to recommend that you try to look in the desert, as the desert is going to have the highest odds of finding pottery shards. Shards can be found both at desert wells, which have a 1 in 4 chance of finding a shard, as well as desert temples, which have about a 1 in 8 chance of finding a shard in a suspicious block. At the wells, you're going to want to look for the middle block under the water, and for temples, you're going to want to head to the main chamber, where you would find the terracotta blocks that take you into the treasure chamber. Make sure you look around, and you are going to want to look for the area that has the sand blocks. Once you notice the sand, make sure you try to chip away at the sandstone surrounding it. If you uncover the sand, you're going to notice some stairs, which is going to indicate that you are in the right area. Just make sure you slowly remove the sandstone, and then make sure you pay attention to the regular sand. If you notice one look like a suspicious block, make sure you take out your brush, and then make sure you brush it away, and then hopefully you should be able to pull a pottery shard. Every single one of these stairwells are going to have a couple of suspicious blocks. Make sure you try to exhaust the entirety of the area. Make sure you are very careful while mining, though, as you don't want to accidentally break any of the suspicious blocks, as that is also going to break the item inside. So once you notice a suspicious block, which is going to look like an off-colored piece of sand, make sure you switch over to your brush, hold left trigger to brush away at it, and then you hopefully should uncover a pottery shard. They're going to look like these. You're going to need 4 of them total for the achievement. They're going to come in all sorts of different varieties, so just make sure you get whatever the first 4 you get. They do not all have to be matching. You can get any 4 patterns. This is probably going to require you to visit multiple desert temples and desert wells, so just make sure you try to look around your desert, and then hopefully you should be able to find enough of these ruins in order to get enough. So just make sure once you exhaust your current temple or well, make sure you move on to the next one, and then it's going to be the same thing every time. If it's going to be a well, just make sure you look at the middle block in the water, and if it's going to be a temple, head up to the main chamber, and then make sure you look at all the corners and look for the one with the regular sand, and then just make sure you try to dig down and then look for the staircase blocks, and then look around this area for some suspicious blocks, which you are going to brush away at. Just keep brushing away, and then hopefully the odds are going to be in your favor, where you can find 4 sooner rather than later. Of course, you are just not limited to the ones that you find in the desert. Feel free to combine these with any that you do happen to come across in trail ruins or in ocean ruins, and you are probably going to stumble across a few while trying to go for those other 2 achievements. Every single type of ruin is going to have their own variants of pottery shard patterns, but do keep in mind you can use any 4 for the achievement. So if you want to have the best luck at this, you are definitely going to want to just stick to the desert. Nonetheless, once you manage to pocket 4 shards of any pattern, you are going to need to combine them in order to get the achievement, as you are going to need to make a completed decorated pot. This is going to require a crafting table, so if you don't have one near you, make sure you head over to your next tree, which is going to be a little far away since we are in the desert. But make sure you get some wood and then make a crafting table. Head over to the crafting table and we're going to craft the decorated pot. You are going to want to take any 4 pieces of pottery shards and then make sure you craft them at a crafting table. So once you are at a crafting table, you're going to have to manually craft these. You're basically going to do it by dragging one of the shards to each one of the faces in the 3x3 square. So you're going to pretty much make a circle of shards, leaving out the corners. So that's going to be 1 on top in the middle, 1 on the bottom in the middle, and then 1 on each of the sides in the middle. Once you have that in place, you should be able to craft your decorated pot. Make sure you do so, and then pop it down somewhere to enjoy your handiwork. And once you've done that, you should be good for this particular achievement. So make sure you enjoy all the faces of the pot, and then once you have assembled it, your achievement should unlock. There it is. It's going to be for 10 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.